We've covered some of the biggest feuds in poker history, from Doug Polk and Daniel Negreanu to Annie Duke and, I guess, Daniel Negreanu. But today we're going to be covering a feud that doesn't involve kid poker, but instead the poker brat. So stick around, it's going to get ugly.
I have been in one fist fight since I was 10 years old, and it was with Sam.
Ow!
But before we get into the thick of it, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Poker Boom if you want even more great poker content. We release brand new videos every single Monday, and we appreciate you being here. Poker is a game of skill, strategy, and psychology, and it's witnessed its fair share of rivalries and feuds over the years.
Good guy re-raced me. I didn't think he'd re-race me with ace 10. Couldn't put him on that hand.
Among the most notable is the saga between Phil Hellmuth and Sam Grizzle, two renowned figures in the poker world whose clashes have captivated audiences both on and off the felt. To truly comprehend the depth of their feud, it's important to delve into the backgrounds of both players. Phil Hellmuth, otherwise known as the Poker Brat, has amassed a staggering number of World Series of Poker bracelets, making him one of the most successful tournament players in history. His polarizing personality, marked by outbursts and grandiose displays of ego.
No, he didn't. It's just unbelievable. This kid probably won't last another hour. They play so bad, and they don't even know how to spell poker.
Has earned him both admirers and detractors in the poker community. On the other hand, we've got Sam Grizzle, who, while not as decorated as Hellmuth in terms of tournament victories, was always a formidable presence at the table, known for his sharp wit and penchant for needling opponents.
And Phil Hellmuth knows he's been beaten again by Sam Grizzle.
Grizzle commanded respect among his peers.
You know what they should be? Wannabe Sam Grizzles.
Sam, if you would have stayed around the poker world, you'd have a million wannabe Sam Grizzles. Because you started on the right foot, singing on ESPN, everybody loved you.
For his fearless approach to the game. He was known primarily for his distinct southern accent, and he was a figure who was largely shrouded in mystery. Attempts to uncover his biography resemble searching for a needle in a haystack, with only fragments of information available.
I got a new song for you, Phil. He's a chip mover. He's a chip mover, and here he comes now, la-da-da.
Hailing from the Carolinas and residing in Las Vegas, Grizzle was entrenched in the poker scene since 1989. His penchant for high-stakes games and prestigious tournaments yielded notable successes, boasting 11 first-place finishes and a hefty $1.19 million in tournament earnings. However, behind the glitz of his victories lied a darker reputation. Accounts from forums like 2plus2 and Pocket Fives painted him as mean-spirited and unstable. But despite the animosity that was directed towards him, some found Grizzle's antics amusing.
If I ever let that hand beat my hand, I quit. I'll give up.
What do you have, 5 seconds, 2 seconds?
Make it different. What he's basically trying to say is you're a weak.
Oh, you couldn't beat for 6 high? He said,
No,
did you have 5, 6?
There's a 5 on board.
Grizzle's ability to get under opponents' skin was seen as a source of entertainment for many, while at the expense of others' frustrations. Hellmuth and Grizzle's paths crossed on the poker circuit in the late 1980s. Initially, their interactions were cordial, but always tinged with competitive undertones. However, as they competed against each other more frequently, animosity began to brew.
I run through the border about 4 more times. I have all them beautiful chips.
The root of their discord can be attributed to a clash of egos and contrasting personalities. Hellmuth's brash demeanor clashed with Grizzle's unfiltered candor, creating a volatile dynamic whenever they crossed paths.
I went to play him at his house in San Jose, and we bought so many cards that he ripped up the AM/PM run out of cards.
Their disagreements often stemmed from heated exchanges at the table, where insults were exchanged and tempers flared. But their feud was not confined just to the poker table. It spilled over into the public domain, with both players taking jabs at each other in interviews, and fans would eagerly follow the drama, choosing sides and fueling the rivalry with every new development. The most infamous and outrageous story revolves around a showdown of fists between Grizzle and Phil Hellmuth, unfolding in the parking lot of Binion's Horseshoe back in the late 90s.
These guys have some history with each other, Lon. Just a couple of years ago in this very casino downstairs, they got in a dispute at a table, and they took it outside.
In those days, when disputes arose to the tables, they were settled mano a mano outside, in a throwback to a bygone era of settling scores with more than just words. The scuffle reportedly ended swiftly, with Grizzle landing a surprising blow on the towering Hellmuth. ESPN even caught wind of the Grizzle Hellmuth showdown during their coverage of the 2003 World Series of Poker main event.
Sam decked Phil. You gotta like Sam's chances in any fistfight, even though Phil's a lot bigger.
Immortalizing the incident during Chris Moneymaker's historic run at the old Binion's Horseshoe. And if you want to learn more about Moneymaker's historic run, go check out this video we did all around Chris Moneymaker. For many, the 2003 World Series of Poker marked a pivotal moment in their poker journey, drawing them into the game's allure during the online poker explosion of the early 2000s. Grizzle played his part in the narrative spun by 441 Productions, embodying the seasoned veteran amidst a sea of newcomers and aspiring pros. Though it feels like just yesterday, over 20 years have passed since that iconic event. Back then, Vegas was still the domain of the old guard, with figures like Hellmuth considered relative youngsters. But to those watching from home, eagerly following Moneymaker's underdog story, Grizzle represented something else entirely. A relic of the past, dressed like a regular Joe, but harboring the kind of cash that turned heads. And during that fateful 2003 World Series of Poker episode, viewers were treated to a tense hand between Grizzle and Hellmuth, with Grizzle ultimately outmaneuvering the poker legend and sending him into a tailspin.
Thank you. Keep them big chips in front where I can see them.
And Sam starts the needle. He has a variety of needles, even though he's not licensed.
Tragically, the feud took an unexpected turn with the untimely passing of Sam Grizzle. His sudden death sent shockwaves through the poker community, prompting reflection on the unresolved animosity between him and Hellmuth. And if rumors are to be believed, Grizzle met his end while leading an online poker tournament, adding yet another layer of intrigue to his storied legacy. In the wake of Grizzle's death, there was a fleeting sense of closure, albeit tinged with lingering resentment. While some hoped for reconciliation between the two adversaries, others recognized that their feud had become ingrained in the fabric of poker lore, destined to be remembered as a tale of unchecked rivalry. And as for Phil Hellmuth, well, his career continues to thrive. And while he remains a dominant force at the table, his confrontational style has continued to alienate some opponents and fans alike.
I will tell you this.
Turns and
You were the
reverses.
last person I wanted to play today because it's so obnoxious.
Despite attempts at reinvention and self-reflection, Hellmuth's penchant for drama ensures that he remains a polarizing figure in the poker world. And just like Moneymaker, we've also done a video all around Hellmuth. You can check that out in the description below. The feud between Phil Hellmuth and Sam Grizzle is another proof of the high-pressure world of professional poker. What began as a clash of personalities escalated into a bitter rivalry that transcended the game itself. While their animosity may have outlasted Grizzle's passing, their legacy serves as a reminder of the importance of finding common ground, even in the face of adversity. And that's it for this one. Thank you for being a part of Poker Boom, and please make sure to check out some of our other videos. There are 2 floating right there in the player window, handpicked just for you. We will see you in the next one.